Jets fans. We're back. The Jets are back, baby. It's a funny thing with this team, huh? But I will say this. It does feel good to win, right? Unless you really wanted them not to win. In which case, they're just doing the same stuff they did all year to us. Isn't it fun? Anyway, we are celebrating a Victory Monday right here on GreenBean's Jets Pod. I am glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out with me in this little forum that we have here, this little private moment between you and I. It's nice, intimate. Isn't it nice? You're like alone, and I'm alone at different times, but we're together right now. Isn't that cool? I really like that. It reminds me of just how weird this season really is, because that's weird. Oh, dropping cans all over the joint. But guys, I'm going to tell you something. I did everything I could to try to get the team to lose this week. I didn't do my Doritos, right? I had none of my good luck stuff around. And I even went as far as to go to America's favorite sportsbook, BetUS, and place a wager on the Jets to win. I threw $500 on the Jets to win, specifically so I could see them lose. So I can help, because if you bet on the Jets, they're going to lose, right? Right? That's what I thought. We placed $500 on the live stream this weekend, the Jets to win, and they did. So there's, I guess, it's like a hedge. I guess, I don't know. We won, and I get to win. I didn't want them to win, but whatever. So you go to BetUS, man. That's where you get it done, and you get a great offer, which is a 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000 just by using the promo code YouTube150. And that will also get you a 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000. It's a lot there for you, man. You can bet on everything from obviously the NFL, the New York Jets, and the rest of the games, but you can go down and bet on golf. We were looking at it this week. Darts, politics, swimming, whatever you want. It's all there on BetUS. And with this offer, you can understand why they are America's favorite sports book. Take advantage of the offer that they're giving you using that promo code YouTube150 and get that 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. Thank you to BetUS for hanging out with us all this season. They've helped make it a little bit more fun anyway. This season has been weird. So the Jets win, huh? How you feeling? How you feel, Jets fans? You know, we're split like always. We talk about it every week, right? There are fans who think that you shouldn't root for losses, and other fans who think, man, we always win when it doesn't mean anything. And then we don't get the top draft picks and win, blah, 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 blah. And here we go. So this was a double your bang for your buck game. The Jets could have gotten high as I believe it's the 4th overall pick this week. But instead, we are at 8. We lost a spot. So we're at the 8th overall pick. Now, when you get down to it, 4, 8, you know, if that's what it is. But it helps. You got 3 more games, and you might even be able to see the Giants win one. You know, Carolina, the Patriots, somebody. You just keep losing, and you get down there. But here's what's going to happen. And this is what the theme of our little podcast will be this week. The Jets are going to find a way to win some of these games. Now, look, here's the thing. The box score is interesting, right? Because we had a really good, we had an opening drive touchdown to Garrett Wilson, beautiful. And then we went into the toilet, like, as we do, you know, the rest of the half pretty much. And we come out in the second half and have this explosion. 198 yards for Davante Adams, 198 yards and 2 touchdowns. We haven't seen anything like that in a very long time. Garrett Wilson had 3 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown. And our Rodgers throws for, 289 yards and 3 touchdowns. So here we are. It looks like it's this whole resurgence. Had 300 plus yards last week for Aaron Rodgers. Now it's like 2 weeks in a row, not quite 300, but you could say that's a 300-yard game. 289, that's 300 where I come from, right? So it starts to paint a picture. And we're winning a game. We almost won last week. With so many missed opportunities from the field goal kicking earlier on in the season to the blown leads with the defense. There's an argument right now to be made that this group of players, not everybody, of course, maybe Kinlaw and Leaky Fotu, what a whiff that was. Some other fellas, right? They're not going to be here next year, but the larger core, maybe they needed some time to kind of work it out. Now, the other side of it is it's the Jaguars, everybody. Let's temper our enthusiasm just a little bit. But it doesn't take away the fact that for numerous weeks now, the Jets have looked, and even earlier in this season, there were games we just should have won. Missed field goal at the end. Even those alone were a 6-win team. Now today we'd have 7 wins. Going into the final 3, you could have a 10-win season. You know what I mean? So there's an argument, everybody. I think in the long stretch of winlessness, we have this overall mindset of dude, obviously we need a clean slate. We need to wipe it down and just start over. The GM's gone. The head coach is gone. This coaching staff should be gone. Aaron Rodgers is a shell of his former self. Devontae Adams is hot and cold. We were calling him Droppy Adams, Dropsy Adams earlier in the first half. He had a couple drops. And you just look around, you're and clean slate. Keep the young guys, the Breeses, the G-Dubs of the world, and just start over. Get a new regime in here and build on top of the young talent that you do have. And let's go from there. But maybe you got to factor in that they are all playing together for the first time. That the coaching staff isn't all that good overall, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe it just I don't know. There's an argument to be made. Again, we're late in the season. You got another team that might be hoping to tank a little bit. They were playing, don't get me wrong, but it's the Jaguars. They have 3 wins. So they're in the same boat that we are. So you can't go Super Bowl, mentality, mindset when you're beating the Jaguars. Now, historically, it's our first ever game with 30-plus points in the Aaron Rodgers regime or era, right? So you can take out of it what you want. But there is this argument. When you look on the field, the truth is that nobody can explain what the hell. Why can't the Jets close out a game? Why can't the Jets figure out how to win? Now, a lot of it does come down to the coaching, right? You got an issue on defense. They're eating you alive, and they don't really change much. We saw the last couple weeks, they started this 5-man, really 5-down linemen on the defensive line consistently all game. We're seeing that package now. And it's working here and there, but it doesn't look like anything groundbreaking. We're still not disguising. We're still getting eaten up in the zone. And you'd like to think that we could come out with something different, a different look, scheme toward the opponent, so to speak, when clearly teams are just looking at how to beat us and they're taking advantage of it, especially late in the game. When it's time to just drive down and get a winning touchdown or whatever, they're able to do that. You saw the stat this weekend. It was all over the feed. The Jets had, 5 leads in the fourth quarter that they lost or whatever it was. I forget. But you know what I mean. So it's close at times. And when you look around the roster, having wide receivers like Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson, who are both under contract for next year. Yes, there'll have to be some reworking on the Devontae Adams side. You got Aaron Rodgers, and he's under contract. You got to rework it a little bit and figure this out, the whole thing. You got 4/5 of the offensive line. You still got Breece Hall and Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis in the running back room. Alan Lazard is hot garbage. That guy, I don't know what's up with that guy. Aaron Rodgers wants him on the field, so he's on the field, but he not looking good. since he came back off the injury. Maybe it's going to take him 8 weeks to get right. Who knows? Who knows? But where are you, with all this stuff? It's like there's the side of it that's like, look, we already, as far as the front office, like the general manager, yes, we have Phil Savage and the rest of the crew there, but he's gone. The head coach that this team was built under, he's gone. The other coach, yes, we won a game today, but we've lost, 9 since he took over. We were 2-3, and now we lost 7 games. 7 of 9, that's what it is, under his watch. So there's not a lot of meat on the bone. But if they go out there and they win these last 3 games, let's say, you got the Rams, the Dolphins, and the Bills. Imagine pulling together a 4-game win streak to close out the season. What would that do to the think tank that is the New York Jets? Now, granted, we don't even know who the general manager is. It might do nothing for him. He might think, I don't care about any of this. I want to start over. I don't want Aaron Rodgers. I don't want Devontae. I don't want all these old guys. I want to bring in my coach, and I want to start with a new quarterback, or maybe they have one buffer year with Tyrod Taylor and Jordan Travis going head-to-head in the competition. Who knows if that's what they're going to do? Maybe they look at Aaron Rodgers and they say, hey, we're going to have this kind of buffer year anyway. The team's built. They went through their lumps last year. We stack it with a few new items, get a new tackle, get a new wide receiver to go into to fold in. Maybe you're at the 7th or 8th pick and you use that for a wide receiver right there. Get a premium guy, maybe. Who knows? Maybe you're up high enough and you get Hunter. Doubt it, but maybe. So maybe we could do that and say, look, let's run it back with these guys. The team's built. They just took all their lumps this year. They're starting to win games. They're flowing. They got some symmetry. They have some comfort. You tell them all, we're going to run it back. We're going to fortify a few areas. We got a good offensive mind in here. We're going to rework some things, and we're going to get it going. Maybe they do that. Is there justification for that? Now, obviously, again, it's not just the general manager, it's the head coach. If you get a rookie head coach, I don't know. I'm of the thought, I don't know if a rookie head coach coming in here with an already established Aaron Rodgers is the smartest thing to do for the New York Jets, especially when you know he's going to be gone in a year or 2. Max. Imagine he was healthy 2023. And we did end up having him for 4 years, and he was playing like the Aaron Rodgers that we thought can you imagine? Like, what is it? We don't know. But I'm going to point this out too. You know how Jets fans, we catch a lot of slack for how negative we are. But I'm going to tell you, if you see one game, one victory, it happened against the Texans as well on Halloween. We win one game, and most of the fans start jumping right back on, believing again. We want to believe so badly. Give us 3, 4, 5 wins in a row, and this fan base would be out of control with positivity. We're just waiting for something positive to happen. They never give it to us. That's the problem. They never give it to us. They don't know how to just have any consistent positivity around here. So where are we? We're negative. It's like in the live streams, watching a negative game and we're talking about it, what's happening in front of our faces, and people say, "Why are you being so negative all the time?" Well, I'm watching something negative. It's like watching a house burn. You're like, "Oh my God, it's terrible." Well, why are you being so negative? Well, because I'm watching people's belongings burn. I'm watching it's terrible. It's why I'm negative, because what I'm seeing is the worst. And that's kind of what it is. Look at just this alone. Now, granted, half of us at least, if not more, we're hoping that the Jets just lose out, because we never do that. This is a cyclical thing, guys. We do this every year. At the end of the season, we pull together 1, 2, 3 more victories that mean nothing, and all it serves to do is push the draft pick backwards from the top overall pick so far, for 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th, 10th, 11th, whatever it might be. Just down the line. That's what we do every single year. And again, I'll say it. I say it every fucking week. But we haven't had the number one overall pick since 1997. And who's sucked more consistently than we have? Every year there's just somebody who sucks better. They just know how to suck right, and they get that first overall pick, and they get a C.J. Stroud, or they get a Caleb Williams, whatever it is, and we don't get to do that. The closest we got was the second overall pick, which is pretty good for us. Pretty good. And we got Zachy Poo. So, hey, doesn't always work out, of course, but my whole thing is to want to trade back. That's my thing. There's always going to be somebody who wants to jump up for that quarterback. If you're in the first or second spot, you can always do it. You can always pull it together. You get even if it's just something like you get an extra second this year, so you slide back a few spots, you get a second and a first next year. So next year you got 2 firsts, and then the team that traded up with you, they're likely to be on the poorer side. It's very unlikely that they're going to be that high and then shoot to the moon. So you get like a top 10 pick out of it next year. And that's the way to do it, in my opinion. That all said, the other side is maybe these guys could use a little winning. If we are going to run it back with them, if you are going to run it back with this group of people, maybe, just maybe, winning, if you can figure out how to beat Buffalo, how to beat the Rams. Now, these are teams going into the playoffs. And then finish the season and jab a spike into the hearts of the Miami Dolphins. Would that kill us? We'd be a 7-10 team once again. It's the highest we've gotten in a long time. Since 2015, that's our best record, right? It's 7 wins. So we get back there, and it kind of gives you that little boost toward, for the guys toward the future. If Aaron Rodgers is going to come back, Devontae Adams is going to come back, both of whom, if you need them to rework their deals, and you say, look, we're going to run this back one more year, rework the deal so we can get you some pieces, maybe they do that. No? What do you think? I mean, Aaron Rodgers has done it already, so maybe he would. I don't know about Devontae Adams. I can't speak for him. I don't know him very well. But let's take a look at it. The idea of running it back with Aaron Rodgers. So look at this, guys. We're all complaining about Aaron Rodgers, myself included, right? We did not get the Aaron Rodgers we thought we were going to get. He's looking more comfortable. You saw him run for 45 yards today. He's escaping. He's looking like he's a little bit more sprightly. He's running down the field, But this guy has a 62.5% completion percentage. And again, not groundbreaking, higher than we're used to. But we're looking at 3,255 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. For contrast, those 8 interceptions the last few years, that's how many passing touchdowns we were getting from like the guys like Zach Wilson, who has never passed for more than 10 touchdowns in a season. So we're looking at 23 passing touchdowns, 3,255 yards. Do you realize if he throws for 251 yards over the next 3 games, 251 yards, not crazy, he'll break Joe Namath's greatest season as a New York Jet, 4,007 yards. Now, Namath did it in 14 games. We're not comparing the two. We're just talking about how many yards, touchdowns, and stuff for that season. So in that season, Joe Namath had 26 touchdowns, but he also had 28 interceptions, okay? So, I mean, it's a little flippy, little flipperoon. So if Aaron Rodgers throws for 251 yards, I said, right? Something like that. 251 yards for the next 3 games. He will have 4,010 yards or 8 yards. Forgive me. You guys know it's not my strong suit. I'm trying. But he already had, he gets 2 more touchdowns. Or no, he needs 5 more touchdowns. But either way, the yards, crazy. And Joe Namath's percentage then was 52.5, so he's already got that. But we're looking at the greatest quarterback performance in New York Jets history. Can you really push that out aggressively if he's willing to stay? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you do that? He threw for 3 touchdowns today. He threw for a touchdown last week. He threw for 339 last week. He throws for 289 this week. Like, it's not beyond the realm of possibility here. We're looking at 4,000 yards. I know for the other teams in the NFL, not maybe the biggest deal. What, 4,000 yards? We have that 100 times. The Broncos, the Raiders, the Chiefs, whoever, Niners. Yeah, 4,000 that's the floor. It's a standard. 37.50 to 45 is the standard, maybe. But not for us. We're already 3,200. Shit. When's the last time we saw that? Did Sammy ever have that? Maybe he had over 3,000. But it's like, I don't know. We don't see this stuff. So are we being a little bit presumptuous that the Jets are going to move on from this guy, especially if he figures out a way to win these last games? What if they figure out a way to win against the Bills and the Rams and the Dolphins? We get to 7 wins. He throws for over 4,000 yards. And you just look at it, those 3 games that we lost because of Zerline, literally lost because of him. This is a 10-win team. Are you so willing to throw it in the garbage? I don't know. And again, this is just 1 week does this. Makes you think. But even if today was a loss and the stats were the same, like if the Jaguars drove down there and didn't get the first Sauce Gardner pick in 2 years at the end there, wouldn't that be something here? I mean, like, it still speaks. Like, yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going wrong. Aaron Rodgers is definitely a part of it. But the Tyron Smith piece, once Fashanu came in, it's been a whole different thing. Has it not? Don't forget, there was a game there. We were playing with 4 tackles and a center. It's been an interesting season. It just brings up the point, guys. It's like, maybe, just maybe, we need to let it all play out and see, especially if you end up pulling in a coach like a Mike Vrabel. What if you get Vrabel in here? And he's not worried about coming in here and dealing with the personality that's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to come in here. He's tried and true. This guy's a badass. He's already been there, done that. Maybe not the Super Bowl, but he's coached teams all the way to the AFC Championship game. And he did it with Ryan Tannehill. 2 of his offensive coordinators were hired for head coaching jobs, one of whom coached Aaron Rodgers up in Green Bay. He's still there, by the way. So it's one of those scenarios where maybe, just maybe, the best thing to do, now that the tracks are greased, now that all the kind of the gunk is out of the system, you got Garrett Wilson, you got Breece Hall, you got Braylon Allen. Aaron Rodgers loves Isaiah Davis. You got Devontae Adams. You got all these guys that are pretty damn good. You can get rid of some, bring some in that you like, fortify the unit, and run it back. You clearly need some help on the defensive line, I'll tell you that. Getting JJ back, McDonald's a hit, right? We like Will McDonald now. But let me know what you think. Let me know. Are you ready to run it back? Are you ready to say, you know what? Win, lose, or draw here. Aaron Rodgers is getting close to 4,000 yards. We have not seen that with Chad, with Vinny, with O'Brien, with Boomer. You know what I mean? With Fitzpatrick, with Sammy, with Gino, with Sanchez, and, Chad, Zachy Poo. None of those guys could do it. Fielder, Boyle, Mike White, the great Mike White. Maybe you settle down and you go, okay, well, last year was rough, but maybe this could work. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll get out of here early today. But man, oh man, what a question. A question for the ages, Jets fans. I can't wait to hear what you think in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. looking at it objectively, not with our feelings, how do you feel about running this one back? Not the coaching staff, of course. Where will we be in a year from now? Oh, my God, to imagine. I can't wait to hear your comments. I want to thank BetUS for hanging out with us. Don't forget about that great offer. YouTube 150 gets you 150% bonus deposits, or deposit bonus up to $2,000. That's how I should say it. Thank you to BetUS, and thank you for hanging out. Hey, enjoy the win. Why not? Just enjoy it. Have a good day, Victory Monday. Walk around your town like this. All right, baby. 4 wins. Do that. Have a great rest of your day and week. I'll talk to you later. And as always, go Jets.